Hello, ladies. Welcome to the how to guide for moms. Everything you need to know about regulation. Okay, this took longer than I wanted to write because I could literally write a book, a 200-page book about nervous system regulation. But I'm making it short and I'm putting these videos in it so you can do it on the go. You can come back to it. You don't have to read 200 pages. Okay. So if you don't know me, my name is Alex Vieira. I've been a pediatric OT for 7 years, and I've been working with moms and families for 15. And I started doing this regulation work after I had my second because I was so like postpartum anxiety. I was burnt out. My nervous system was a freaking wreck. So I started everything that's in this guide I use because I have a hella sensitive nervous system. I have 3 young kids. I'm running 2 businesses. So that's a recipe for survival mode right there. But everything in this guide, I use, okay? And the women I coach, they use it too. And this is just meant for you to always come back to and to gently approach, right? We're not trying to cram more into our already busy lives, okay? So let's talk about what regulation is. When we hear the word regulation, we automatically think of Gandhi or like, I'm on the beach, I'm chilling, I'm so calm. Okay, that is not what regulation is. Regulation is when our internal state, our nervous system, matches our external state, okay? So if you are a mom with young children, your nervous system is going to be hella hypervigilant because its job is to keep you alive and your children alive, okay? Now, if my 7 and 4-year-old were pulling each other's hair and screaming, the pot of boiling water was overflowing while I was cooking, and my son is trying to dive headfirst off the kitchen counter, if I was like this, I'm just so regulated, man. Like, we would all die, okay? Like, my nervous system is hypervigilant because I have young kids. It's keeping them alive. It's keeping me alive. That's its job, okay? That would be a regulated state, right? If your 2-year-old's hand slips out of yours in a parking lot, starts running, your nervous system is going to react in a millisecond. You're going to go into fight or flight. Thank God, right? Good thing we have nervous systems. All right, so what your nervous system is, it's this beautiful, it's kind of like a machine. It's a part of us, okay? But its only job is to always scan and say, am I safe or am I surviving? Is there a tiger trying to eat me or is the tiger gone? That's really all it does, okay? And I'm going to throw some P words out there, all right? I have a hair in my mouth. Okay, its job is to protect us. What it does, and it's a pattern machine, all right? It takes the past, it creates a memory stored in the body, and it creates a pattern, okay? And what it does, it's trying to predict the future because it doesn't really want that to happen again. So the nervous system is always scanning. Within a millisecond, it knows if there is danger or not. I always joke, us sensitive people, our nervous systems are really, really attuned to everything in our environment. Like, I swear I could be a drug dog. I could smell marijuana like 2 miles away. I could hear my children breathing in another room. I joke that us people would not get eaten by tigers back in the day. We were the ones who survived because we could hear and feel everything around us, all right? So within a millisecond, the body knows if it's safe or not. Not the brain. We're not talking about the brain. The brain is slow, guys, okay? The brain will maybe kick on a second or two later and be like, oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, this looks like danger, okay? When we talk about the nervous system, we talk a lot about the body, okay? All right, so this is what regulation feels like. It feels like I can handle anything, right? The kids are crazy. I got all these work stuff. Like, it's good. I can handle this, all right? I have capacity. It's all about building capacity. I feel present. I feel connected. I'm not living in my head. Most of us live in our head. We're overthinking and we're anxious all the time. That is dysregulation, a symptom of dysregulation. We're present. Our smart brain is online, okay? Because when we're regulated, our smart brain works. When we're in survival mode, our smart brain shuts off. That's why when you're going and you're just like in it, like life is happening, you have like no memory. You're like, I don't even know what happened this week. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Like I can't form memories. I can't keep things straight. Dysregulation, okay? If you consider yourself to have ADHD or something similar, right? We are prone to dysregulation, which makes it even harder to do the things. That's why we have to focus on regulation more than most people. All right. So we can also call regulation, I'm going to be calling it rest and digest. There's regulation, rest and digest. There's fight or flight, which is more activated. And then there's dorsal vagal, which is freeze. And this might look like autopilot, functional autopilot, going through the motions, so disconnected from what's going on, disconnected from our bodies. I'm pretty sure that's how I lived the first 30 years of my life. And it is still my pattern. My body will just go straight into dissociation because it's like, this is how we stay safe. All right. So Smart Brain Online. If you're like trying to work and you're like, God, I'm getting nowhere. I am not productive. Go do something for yourself to regulate yourself. Okay. All right. Rest and digest. And digest doesn't just mean digest food. It means digest everything around us, digest our environment, digest what's happening. And that helps us be in our body and orient. So I love the phrase rest and digest, okay? Because when we're in survival mode, we're not resting and we're not digesting the things around us, okay? So what does dysregulation feel like? Okay? Your nervous system might think there's a freaking emergency happening, okay? I always feel like there's an emergency. I'm like, it's 7 o'clock and we haven't eaten dinner yet. We're falling off the schedule. Like, that's not important, okay? It's okay if we eat dinner a little later. The kids can go to bed 30 minutes later. We're not going to die, okay? Your nervous system thinks everything is an emergency. Sign 1. You're getting overwhelmed easily. You're snapping and you're irritable, okay? The things you can usually handle, you just can't handle right now. All right, disconnected from yourself and others. What happens to me is I'm just like going, and then I finally will sit down and like read a book with my kid because that's what brings us both joy. I'm like, oh my God, when was the last time I looked in my kid's eyeballs? And I'm like, are those new freckles she has? Oh my gosh, I have been so disconnected. The mental load, you might be overthinking everything. You might be feeling anxious, right? When you're living in your head and your brain's going a million miles an hour, you're not connected to your body. You're up here, you're not down here, dysregulated. You might attach yourself to certain circumstances or thoughts or emotions, okay? You're like, you can't stop thinking about things. Like your husband said something a couple days ago and you're like, that son of a, and it just pisses you off and you are attached to that emotion, dysregulated. Okay? Thoughts and emotions are not you. They are just data from your nervous system. We'll get into that later, which is powerful because we don't have to attach ourselves to it. All right? I also like physically, I feel like my skin's kind of crawling and I could feel it. Like I need a release. Like I'm either going to yell or I'm going to throw something or like punch something. No, don't worry. I'm not punching things in front of my kids. I'll like, if I feel a lot of anger coming up, I like go for a run or I like punch the mattress. But things need to be released, okay? That's when I'm like, all right, I need movement, okay? And that's when basic needs come in, which we get into later. Last thing, regulation is a skill, guys. You don't just have these skills. You don't just shift back into rest and digest easily. It takes practice. And that's what the next topic gets into, okay? We start talking about doing less and how that's the precursor to checking in with ourselves so we don't keep living like this, living in the pattern. We are interrupting patterns. We are working with our nervous system, not against it, okay? Regulation is a skill, and it's the small, tiny changes that make massive change. Because massive change, the nervous system does not like it. That's why most people who make big, crazy goals almost never achieve them. So we're making the tiniest shifts so the nervous system feels safe and starts to integrate them. All right. And the goal is having rest and digest be our baseline, right? We're not getting stuck in fight or flight. We're not getting stuck in functional freeze anymore. We're noticing we're there, giving ourselves grace, and coming back with new skills, okay? This is our baseline. This is our foundation. Okay, guys? All right, I'll see you soon.